What is a sore loser? Nobody ever wants to lose. I mean, in any race, if you watch, I mean, a lot of people spend most of their lives watching. They don't realize why they're watching what they're watching. They love to go and watch the games. They like to watch the Olympics. That's why the Olympics make so much money, because people like to see the competition. That's why they call it that. Well, this country, which identifies you, right, is is there in the Olympics, and they represent you, right? They don't represent the nation; they represent you, because that's personal. When you bring things down to a personal level, it starts to make a whole lot of sense why a lot of things that go on in life, and that's why they make money. They make tons of money off you, because you you are very much involved, whether it be through the advertisement, whatever. It hurts deeply when you watch your team on that field doing whatever the athletes are doing, whatever they're doing, or you go to a hockey game, a football game. It hurts. Some part of you gets hurt. You get upset that they just lost a score, because it's you that's being affected. It's all about you. And you're taught to be that way through your life. You're taught to compete, right? Along comes a different set of a breed of people that don't see life that way, right? And you could be one of those people, right? They don't take it personally about losses or winning. And this is a part, of course, they got to grow out of, because growing into winning is like some people say, and yeah, I mean, had the same attitude too. Uh, it doesn't matter how you lose or win or how you play the game, blah, blah, blah. You take a lackadaisical, easygoing thing about life, right? You have to learn to be a winner, because you know what? You are going to learn, and you're probably going to learn more lessons when you decide to level up, as people would say, to experience the ones who are not only sore, but they're losers. They take it so personally, okay, about losing, because it affects the very core of their life. It affects those areas in their life where they never found enough information to tell them that they were worth something. And nobody ever came along to explain to them that the only way you can really ever be worth something is you got to have a lot of worth on the inside to be worth something. That is how you don't become or be a sore loser. Because sore, SORCE, belongs to bitter. It's the same synonymous avenue. They both go on. Bitter and sore, same thing, right? Bitter never tastes sweet. Sore is always angry and upset. It's out of place. It's right. When you put the two words together, you got a sore person that's also a loser. Man, you're going to get a whole lot of sparks and attacks. They're going to be waiting in the wings to attack somebody because of the vengefulness and the spite. And to know a sore loser is to understand that they are not going to see you the same way that you see them. Okay. And the way they view the world is through different types of glass filters. Okay. They see it as somebody's out to get them. Oh, and they are always on guard about what is being spoken. They listen very carefully for any type of information that may have insulted them, right? Very aware of this, right? So much to the point that they are really on the defense. I see they're playing the game of life without realizing it. Being on the defense, being on the offense is still the same thing. Nobody likes to be a defensive person or an offensive person. And you know, the happiest person will probably be in the field, and he probably not will be making as much money as the guys who are out there playing the game. Is the scorekeeper? These guys, they just kind of sit back, enjoy. We're getting paid, right? And they'll go home and they don't have to worry about the stress of fame, the stress of trying to be something that they're not, being given over. And it's people who become very famous, whatever. A lot of them are given over immediately to all these other things they have to take into their body to make them feel better. Drugs, alcohol, pills, you name it, right? So it just goes to show that winners, as from how we see them playing the game, they're really not. They're really not winners because they lose the vitality of worth, the things that are truly worthwhile inside of them, character, dignity, manners. The people who don't go about in their life looking, I'm going to say that for every game player. Some game players they allow worthiness to be part of them. So when they play the game, people like them because people at least see an example of a person who's actually good, a good person playing the game, right? But in general, competition and fierce competitiveness and jealousy and anger and all these other ugly traits are are part of the fabric of this thing we call lifestyle. Sore losers will not in any way, shape, or form desire that you rise, or that you rise above them, or that you even rise one iota. And the way to test sore losers is play a board game with them. Be the kind of person, and I'd say this in for life, be the kind of person who's hands off. Let it come, let it come. And winning people always will win, right? As one of my other videos go into that, I've seen it's true, right? When you're around sore losers, because in any essence of word, they're doing what they're doing, they're sending fiery darts at you, and you don't ever see it or believe it because they live in a completely different realm that you do. Different people altogether. They're not like you. Okay? We get into a board game with them and start to win. And something else I discovered? I find people who are a little bit more hands off, don't take it too seriously, usually end up winning board games because there's board games. Because they are so light, they don't have to get all intense and nervous and anxious. Like, even the way a person will throw the dice, those little vibrations of the dice can cause the losing numbers to come up, right? And when you're in any kind of environment with losers who are sore, it's because they're sore about a lot of things. They sore it never worked out. They don't. But the funniest thing they're not a sore about. They're not sore about the trouble they cause and the trouble that they actually initiated to cause them to lose. It's always on the external. That's what makes them losers. When people say to another person, that person's a loser, is because it's not because as much as with the bad stuff that's maybe going on around them, or I mean, everyone has their time in their life where you're gonna have a lot of humble pie you're gonna have to eat, right? But these people are losers because of their attitude that makes them losers. Attitude, the old saying, it says that gratitude is an attitude that takes you to new altitudes. Your gratitude is your altitude. Sore losers will never, ever, and it's a rarity to discover that they actually have gratitude, thankfulness as part of their demeanor and as part of their character arsenal. It's not in there. So don't ever go looking for it. And the saddest part about it is that the sore losers have the power to be extremely corruptive. They will corrupt the ability to win should you be around them because they are in so many ways like energy. They will make sure that you are never, ever going to win. They've actually come to a resolution that they may never win. They've actually come to a peaceful state that they may never win. And should they win right before you, and you could have done a whole bunch of stuff for that person right before you, they'll flaunt their win in front of your face. They will even come out and and they'll tell you what they are going to spend the money on to let you know that you don't have no part of it. So don't even bother thinking about it. Even though that's not in your mind, they will do that because you know what? They're literally projecting who they really are. They're literally projecting who they are. Because the finality of what I'm about to say here is just this. Sore losers are so occupied about themselves. Life is a survival game with them. Survival goes back to the time of caveman, and they are hunters. They are scavengers. They are take whatever they can get. I've even had someone say that to me. You know, even after I offer, said, I'll take whatever I can get. Take and get are the giveaway, the dead giveaway of their mentality and how they see things. Because winners don't take, and winners are not about getting. Winners receive, and winners keep on bringing it. Comes to them. It comes to them naturally. That's why gratitude matters the most. And I would say anybody that has a losing attitude out there, the way it changes, man, is just this. Be more thankful. There is so much to be thankful for. And you want to leave. You want to be converted. You want to depart from being a sore loser. Because you know what? It's a very unhappy and it's a miserable state to be in life. Have a good day and do like, subscribe, and man, yeah, once again, have a great day.